of this impact self-protection for women. And can you tell me, what happened? I mean, why did you go first of all, and what changed afterwards? Maybe from the first course.
Yes.
And why did you go? You went to Berlin, you said, right? I think it was Berlin, you said.
Which year was that? Maybe it was. Well, it was after we first met, so we can find out. Was it 2017 or 2018?
Yeah, maybe we were doing some bodyguarding for Alarmus together, and then you are inspired, and you used to do some sword working for your acting thing, right?
I
remember we were training a bit.
We were doing some little trainings on the side.
Yeah.
Time, and I was interested also in like martial arts. I was trying to do something.
Yeah.
Sword fighting, but you showed me like very precise and how to say that, like working very well things. I remember that this is what I remember the best. I remember when you caught my little finger and you did something and I was on the ground and you were holding just my little finger. I was like, wow, it's a magic, it's amazing. I want to learn that. And then,
cool.
After this little finger action, I want to go for your course because what I observed, you can be very, like, you can be feminine. You don't have to become big bully to be successful. I mean, to be effective, but you can use like your own abilities, your own body movement, natural body movement, body mechanics, and be very, very offensive or very defensive, actually, because it's defensive, right? Yeah. So I decided I want to learn that. You told me some things about your course also. And I'm not sure if I met already the people who were, the girls who were on the course, but I remember I've got many, how to say that? I'm not, sorry for my English. Many recommendations of your course also from friends, girls who were on it. Yes, then I went there and wow, where should I start? First of all, I was like expecting maybe we will work very hard physically, like we will do some push-ups or whatever. And I was surprised in a very nice way that we started on this psychological aspect, on mental aspect. And I remember we were doing this exercise with saying no. And there was a wonderful group of girls, and we realized that we, as the girls, are not used to say no. And actually, that we are not confident in saying no, even in this group, when we are just practicing. So
it's powerful.
Situation, you are locked. You're not saying no. And from this very first step of mental setup, to build our inner confidence. I remember that. And this first course for me was like empowerment. I'm always calling it empowerment because it was like turning on some things which are already inside me, but they were quiet. They were not used. They were closed.
You were sleeping. Wow, that's so nice to hear, because I mean, every time some girls are expressing what they feel, I get so inspired. I mean, it's like so nice to hear that it changes something. Yeah. But I was also thinking, how did this visualization of this inner warrior thing, what did you like about that? That's also like, I heard that. How did it impact you?
I love it, and I think it somehow stayed in me. I mean, I'm coming back to it sometimes.
Oh, cool.
And it's still alive. I remember precisely what happened then. And
wow.
Well, it was like spontaneous visualization, but then some things in my life happened and I realized, wow, it was very meaningful, that it was this particular word. I will not say what was this, because it's
no, of course not. It's your private thing.
Then I realized, wow, it's really meaningful that this happened, this kind of visualization happened. It's not an accidental, it's like, it's very deep. So I still remember that, and it's like, it's the place where I like to come back when I feel like not secure or something. I can come back there. So it was also like giving some imprint, very strong imprint, awakening something. So I love it. And well, for me, there's no sense to work only on the body. So
No.
we work on every level, and your course is like that. We work on every level, like mind, speech, body, and mental,
Yeah.
and with emotions also, and with feelings. Yeah, this is very important. That it's like all together. It's harmony in all you, of course.
So what's the difference between a course like that and training martial art in general, what you also did before?
Mm-hmm. Well, for me, the basic difference is, for example, I did a little bit of Krav Maga with the wonderful, wonderful lady. She's Krav Maga master, and she's a very little lady, beautiful and totally killer. And I did some sword fighting with the big guys, and I always was like my side was pointing them, so they were my point of reference. I was trying to follow them and to imitate them, but on your course my side went inwardly, so I just
Nice.
inside myself and not copying you, but just
Mm.
trying to discover myself, my abilities, my power. And I discovered on your course that I have such a power in each of us.
Yeah.
We started as
Yes.
feminine, soft ladies, and we ended like a beast on the first course, and the second was a little bit different, but maybe we'll tell later, because then we're beasts with dignity.
Yeah.
So that was,
Wow. That's awesome. That's so cool. I think also many women that also said they got so inspired to be with the other women and see how they grew. Yeah, this. I mean, I'm in some way I'm what do you call it? I'm making this atmosphere happening. I make the conditions for it, but actually I'm a spectator.
mm-hmm.
I'm putting in things, but actually I'm most because I'm a man, right? So I'm like looking at all these women and letting that energy happen. So I'm learning. I mean, I'm really learning a lot. So at the same time, I'm also the one coming with something, but I'm also learning all the time. And it's really interesting to be. I'm a part of it. I'm not just the one teaching. Yeah, I'm actually part of this whole home again. I have an idea, I have a thread, but I also have to adopt all the time because everything changes because somebody had an experience of something comes up from old times or whatever. So for me, it's so exciting because it's never the same. It's always because it's human beings, and and then it's also fertilizing this whole atmosphere. So I'm thinking. You said something before that really triggered something. That was like, what do you think made it come from inside and not copying me? I mean, my teacher in Japan, Soka, he said, don't copy me. He always said this, don't copy me. Don't forget who you are, but go for the feeling. That's what I try to give. So if I manage to do that, I'm really happy because this is what we should do. Because we all have different bodies, right? And we even different sexes. So we should do it in our way. And how I'm not big and you're not big, so we have to do our body. But I'm still a man and you're a woman, so we have to adopt that. So this thing that what happened that you found inside? Was that the Feldenkrais method I used, or what approach did make it happen inside you, that you follow your own instead of copying me? Do you know that?
well, I don't know, like precise one thing. I think it was a combination of all the things, but as a starter, I think it's
Okay.
with the warrior, because I discovered that I already have it, which was I don't have to gain it from
Yeah, division. Yeah.
now. I just have to.
Yeah.
And then for sure it was the training with the feeling of intention with the closed eyes and the knife thing. You know what I mean? Feeling the bad intention.
Yeah. But the feeling, who has the who has the knife, and you stand. Okay, let's explain for people. You stand in a circle. You stand in the middle, and someone has a knife. Yeah, and this person with the knife is doing a Hitchcock movie, like wah, wah, wah. Imagine they are with intention that they actually are cutting you to pieces. And you have to trust your gut, and then you have to find that one that has it. And if not, then you have to say, okay, what did you have a chill in the back? So maybe it was in the back. So maybe that's the person. So trusting your gut feeling, that's what you mean.
Yes.
That's the one you mean, right? Yeah.
That was, for example, for sure, another piece of the puzzle of my looking at myself. Then the Spartan Christ too, like feeling body and like talking with your body, not forcing it to something, but first like talking, and like with a child, please do it. Like you're asking your body to do something, to cooperate with you. It's not like you must do it because you're mine. It's like, let's do it together. Like going through your body, like how to say that? That you're spreading your consciousness in your body first, then together. That was the thing.
Your awareness. That's why it's called awareness through movement.
Okay. And you created the atmosphere of kind of loving each other, or liking, loving, like being a group. I don't remember, because I'm a very competitive person in general. I'm trying to, of course, work with that. I don't like it. I don't remember that thoughts and feelings on your course. I remember that I was challenging myself sometimes, like to be stronger, like to survive something, to be stronger. But I don't remember that I wanted to be better of some girls or something like that. You created this atmosphere that we are a group, we are together, we are supporting each other. And somehow we felt, I remember when something happened, like emotional, somebody opened emotionally, or somebody had some moment when it was fighting more. I remember I was also feeling that, and we all supporting the one person. We are like one, and the cells in the body.
That's so beautiful.
Yeah. Yes, that was for sure too. That's your, like you're one organ or one cell of big body, big plan, and you're just concentrating to work as much as well as you can to be together with the group. That was also.
That's so beautiful described, because that's actually what I want to fertilize, that you're putting our ego to the side. And actually, if competitive is nothing wrong with that, but you should compete with yourself. Because, I mean, if you compete with yourself, you never stop learning. I mean, the rest of your life, you should keep on learning, and becoming, always be a student, right? So then we keep on learning, because if you compete with others, it's just an ego thing, and then you're fighting, and we actually don't want to fight. The whole thing is we're learning to fight, not to fight. And even in a real martial art, in the heart, we shouldn't fight, even in a fight. But that's kind of tricky. That takes some time. But it should be with compassion in this, that we actually are one. You said it so nicely. We are one. Doesn't matter. Even somebody is attacking us, we are actually one. And can we accept him as one? We can actually diffuse the whole thing. And we can even break his finger, take his eye, whatever. But we can actually make him reconsider. I mean, and then we're not, if we damage him with a feeling that we really want to hurt him, then we're also damaging our own mind. I really believe that we're making a seed for PTSD later. I just have this friend, I read his article recently, yesterday, he's Finnish guy, really. He worked like 25 years in very hostile environment as a bodyguard in Russia and things like this. And he had to use a lot of violence. I did security also, but I did pharmacist different, but also work with security job. But it was after I learned Bujinkan. So I mean, before I learned Bujinkan, I was a fighter, I was a kickboxer, and that was like I wanted to hurt someone. But the Bujinkan is not like that. It's like you wanna de-escalate, you wanna control the situation. And he said in this article, he said he made a lot of scars in his own mind because he hurt people so much. But if you understand that we actually won, then the hurting that you're doing is on somebody is different. You understand that? I mean, I don't know if I explain it properly. Does it make sense?
Yes, it does.
Yeah. But anyway, I mean, there's 3 levels. I usually say there's this basic one, there's this the self-defense, boom. And then you have this the drilling, the military, you do the same drilling. And then you have the martial art that's like the peak of the full potential of a human being. But these courses, of course, I'm teaching the basic, I mean, how to defend yourself, and that has to be aggressive. But you can do that on different levels. So can you explain? I mean, that's because the last course was a little different than the first course you were on. Can you tell me, what did you get out of it? The first course, what happened to you? What did you bring out of it?
Oh, well, for sure, some kind of strength or confidence stayed in me forever. It's like it was plugged once and it stayed. Sometimes, like you go for courses or some workshop or something, you're inspired for some time, like a period, 3 weeks or something, then it comes down again and you don't feel it. But this thing, I think it stayed. Now it came to my mind. It's a little bit shameful, but I have to tell it because it's like a proof. I remember when I was never arguing loudly. I'm not like a person who's shouting and throwing things, and I was always suppressing emotions. And then, of course, in the Buddhism, we learn like anger is bad, so I was trying to avoid it and so on. But sometimes, of course, it happened, it appeared, and I was suppressing it. But I remember after the course, several times I was like, "Pom!" opening things. And I remember even recently, I was like shouting, and I was then surprised. Wow, I have this kind of voice inside me. But what's important, this moments when I was like doing this, like shouting, it was not. It was like actually we did it, something in the course, like to stop somebody with the scream, for example. You remember that? It's not like being angry and trying
to stop or fuck off,
saying something weird to like stop. And also it happened in my life, like privately, I did this kind of shout. And what's interesting, never the person who accepted this shout was never angry on me. That was interesting. But it's not about that. But this is one of the proof that something has changed forever. That I started to shout. I don't know if it would be good for my husband or somebody like that. It's changed. Are you still there? Because the videos has stopped. Ooh. Are you there, Philip?
Yeah, I'm here. But I'm still here.
I'm asking. And the second,
I'm here.
maybe more important.
Yeah, can you see me?
It's like something had changed, I think, in my movement. For example, when I'm on the street and I don't feel secure, I feel like my body gets ready to get more flexible. It's like it's raising. It's not hiding, but it's
interesting.
That you should not move as a victim, because then you are
walk tall. Yeah.
And I remember I was working with the breath, and my body relaxes, actually gets more flexible to go through, not run away, but to be not provocative, but to be like settled.
Yeah.
This is the thing for sure. Yeah, what else? For example, yeah, I also remember very well these things with looking, like this is the first level of communication in the kind of dangerous situation. And you have to be confident with your looking. Yeah, this is also what I remember, and I think I absorbed it. Yeah.
So it stayed with you.
Yeah, I think many things stayed, and now when I'm talking with you after these years, I feel that, and then
it stayed with you.
Yeah, definitely stayed with me. I still, when we are talking now, I still have like memories very fresh, and I feel it in my body. I'm ready to go for the course again.
Awesome. Cool. Oh, that's
for me. One course.
I think we should make a smaller course with maybe 18 girls, and then because I was always okay. Let's keep it private. I lost you.
Yeah.
Right there?
True.
Okay. I mean, actually, I never wanted to film it because I wanted to keep it private. And maybe this funny idea that I didn't want to share it, but this is stupid. This is like a limited mind instead of thinking big. Yeah. So how do you reach more people? How do you benefit more people? Because I'm one person. How can I mean, I couldn't have more than, the best course was like 10, 12 girls. Yeah. Because in the end you beat me up. And I mean, how many beatings can you get? That's one thing. And the other thing is, so how many can you get in contact with? Really show, maybe do it like this. Or what is happening to you now? Why? Okay, she's crying. Okay, things like this. So it couldn't be bigger. But how I could make it bigger was like film it, and you could also have the film afterwards, go it through, and one could share that films, and so more people can get things out of that. I mean, because I was thinking, this is very personal. I mean, it's a personal experience, one-to-one, in real life. How much do you think of this could be done virtually? Is it possible to do something like we do now? We talk, because I also talked a lot. I shared a lot of stories with these women. I mean, these women I taught for 3.5 years, those who's been in prostitution, beaten and raped, and all these crazy stories. There was bad stories, but there's also good stories. There was some empowerment story that they locked the door and the guy said, "I'm gonna kill you," and she said, "Really?" And she locked the door and started beating him up, and they were throwing around with each other. And the other girls came and they beat him up, and he ran through the glass door. Remember that story? This woman. She was like, she was just getting tired of men coming and robbing the place, and then he wanted money. And he said, "We don't have any money." "Then I'm gonna kill you." Well, then she locked the door and said, "Really? You're gonna kill me?" And then she attacked them, and he beat her down, and she jumped up again, throw something at him. And then the other girls came, they started beating him. He got so scared. So he ran away, but he ran through the door. I mean, there was a glass door and he was bleeding all over the place. Yeah? And this is one of the good stories, you could say. And then there's really bad stories, because the bad stories are used as example of what can happen. This is not fantasy. This is not Hollywood. This is real life stories. But these stories, how do you like those stories?
I like them.
I mean, because there was a lot of these.
Yeah, it's very inspiring, and then you can have it as an example in your mind, in your own situation, or like absorb some strength from it, like remember, and then get some power. It's good to share this kind of stories. For sure, meditation could work, like this imaginatory meditation could work through internet.
Yeah, this vision. Yeah.
That and fast could work for internet if you explain it and how they can do it. But it's for me, it will never be a substitute. Like it will never enough. Like
difficult.
The physical contact. You need this.
It's hard to do the little finger thing. It's hard to do.
Exactly.
The thing with the little finger is hard to do virtually. Yeah. But I think I'm trying. I mean, with the women on this in the German WhatsApp group, we do this Zoom, and then I will see how it happens. What can happen? I mean, via the Zoom, and then I get an interactive tryout. Is it possible? So, but let's see. That's coming. But then you did that, and you had all this empowerment with you, and then you went to the other course.
Yes, sorry, I have to plug in my computer. Just a second, please.
Yeah, sure.
So yes, the second course.
Why did you go to a second course? I mean, it was the same place. It was this marvelous place in Berlin, this nice dojo. And then you went again. I mean, you went abroad. You went from Poland to Berlin. You went to you have to pay a ticket to get there, and you do it a second time. Why do you do it a second time?
Why?
Yeah, I had girls to do it 4 or 5 times, but why did you do it?
Well, for sure, I wanted to check, to try myself what stayed after the first course. And I remember that I wanted also kind of proof from myself that it was not an accidental, like it was not by chance. For example, the last fight with you, I really wanted to do it again,
Mm.
and like to prove myself that I still have power. It was not just one time shot. And I wanted to also see how what else I can understand. And I was not wrong, because you did some new things. It was not like repeating things. It was very refreshing, new, absorbing new things about this dignity. I remember that very well. So yeah, it's so what I wanted to say, it's like one course is enough because it's an empowerment, and you're like turned on and you can go and live better. But I think it's also, from the other hand, it's never enough. Like you can
It's both ends.
always
Yeah.
something in yourself, always learn something, because there are
Yeah.
different
Yeah.
stories, different ladies, different atmosphere, mood, whatever. You can change,
Mm.
discover different things in your mind, especially mind, of course, body too. Yeah.
So what was different in this course, the second course? Because that was after I did this 3 months closed meditation retreat, and I also changed. I mean, I change every time. Everybody changes all the time. But after this one course, that was like, what was different? You remember that?
Well, it's hard to say. It was how to say that we were more like a queens, queens,
Greens?
queens. No, yes. But before it was like from the little girl appearing the beast. Then it was more like to do the things, but with like it was more about controlling or being in touch with your state of mind while doing this. And I remember that also I wanted to repeat the fight, because the first I remember that anger was driving me. I remember that
Mm.
I remember that I did something which I was regretting, which I didn't want to do, because you were lying on the floor and I was already freed, and but I still kicked you once, and I was
Yeah.
ashamed of that, because it was not
Interesting.
just the expression of my anger or whatever.
Yeah.
And I wanted to repeat it, to have it different. And
Yeah.
because I knew that I would somehow, first time it was so shocking to fight with you, that even though
Yeah.
I'm remembering that this is you, but you didn't look like you didn't smell
Mm.
like you, everything was different, and it was so oppressive that I was like not 100% sure if I survived, even though somewhere in my mind,
Cool.
but my body didn't know. I was not sure that I was survive. But the second time I was more calm, because of course I had that experience before, so I knew I would,
Mm.
and I could do more. How to say that? Not planned, because it's never planned, but more consciously the movement was, yeah. So for sure,
Did you remember the last fight? How it was?
I remember the feeling. I don't remember exactly what the movement. Do you remember that?
I remember it was very short. You were like clack, 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 boom.
Yeah.
This is it comes to my mind now. It was like you were not engaged. You were actually not engaging the fight. You were just stopping the shit.
Yeah.
It was like controlling, because the whole thing I wanted to share was, instead of having this military drilling and beast thing, I wanted to share this dignity. And that's what you were explaining so nicely with this queen that you were coming with as a queen, your dignity. I mean, having this dignity, controlling the environment. And that's what you did in the fight. I remember that. It was like, boom, boom, stop. I mean, it was very short, very precise. Do you remember this?
I remember
I
the
have it.
I can in the middle of the situation, like in the middle of tornado,
Yeah,
calm, and I'm just doing like the movement. I remember just
yeah.
trying to get. It was not so emotional as the first time. And the first time, I
No,
was,
no.
tears.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like shaking. And the second time was more methodic. I can say methodic.
Yeah, mental deep, you could say. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. English is not my first language either. Oh, that's cool. That's okay. That's cool, because I mean, it's also, I mean, it's like constant evolving how to teach, and because we're all changing. So it's nice to have this feedback.
And I have one thing to share. I don't know. You can
Yeah. No, please.
if it's to share in the beginning for everybody, but I wanted to say that from my experience, this intentions, you know, you're asking about intention for your warrior, what you want to develop. I think there's some impact in your private life later. I think it works. I think it's really like
cool.
Works, and it's not always pleasant. For sure. I remember that first, if I'm right, first I wanted to be courageous, and then I wanted to be disciplined, something like that. And then I had to do something with this in my life, with courage.
Wow.
Now I have discipline period, for example. And
wow, cool.
And the first I had courage because I had to face some of my fears in life also. And then I remembered maybe I will not connect those two if I would not have this kind of memory during some situation when I was facing my fear and struggling.
Yeah.
Then it came to my mind. I remember my wish from the course with Philip. That was my wish. Now we do it.
Wow. Wow. Oh, thank you for sharing that. I mean, that's from this one I have from Sheila Haddad. She was my mentor in exactly these things. She was a psychologist and also she's a very skilled martial artist and very good friend. And she gave me that stop exercises and these questions to ask, this visualization. This is from her. And the other things I built on and I mean, build something else from what I have, but this I have exactly from her. And she would be really happy for hearing this, because to know that it's actually getting into your bones and your DNA and you bring it with you, this is really awesome. But let's finish off. I'm really happy, really happy that you want to share this, Ada. And I mean, can people contact you somewhere? Do you have a homepage, or do you have something that we can put underneath, something like that? They can see this wonderful actor as you are. What?
I don't have my own page. I have just
page,
and I have Instagram.
But you have an Instagram.
I have an Instagram.
Yeah. So we will put. Maybe you can say what's your Instagram. Is it easy, or should we write it? Do both.
Sorry again. Could you repeat?
Anyway, we will post it below, and then yeah, we will post it below your Instagram so people can follow you there, and hopefully your acting career will explode. I hope so for you. I mean,
yes.
That would be great. We all deserve abundance, right? So, and we have to find a way to cope. I mean, adapt, regroup, and overcome. This is the way to do it in these times as well. I mean, changes happens all the time. Yeah, life hits us. Doesn't matter what it is, and we have to change, or else I mean, what happens then? So I'm happy you shared it, and I want to close it off here. But really many thanks to you, Ada, and very best wishes for all of you, all success in all life, and be great and keep that inner warrior.
Thank you. I'm very happy to meet you and very happy to talk with you. And I feel very much of happiness now. I think something good.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Thank you.
Excellent. Yeah, be safe and be aware. Yeah. See you.
Bye bye, Philip. Thank you.